Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Astraea Love. Well, I'm Astraea Love. For those of you that are new, I'm Astraea Love. Hello, welcome to my platform. I'm going to do a psychic reading for you guys today. So I'm reading the collective energy. Whatever steps forward, I'm going to read that. Also, you guys, just an FYI, this is the last week that I'm doing $10 super chats per question. So if you have a question, you can send me a $10 super chat and I will pause the collective reading and address your personal question. Okay. But starting Monday, I will have changed the super chat to $20 because I did it for $10 for a full year. Okay. All right. So make sure that you guys read the description box below. It's got a link to my other platform where you guys will want to get a subscription as well. Again, I'm reminding you guys, make sure that you like the video when you come in. It's free to subscribe, free to like, all that good stuff. Okay. If you enjoy what I'm doing and you are entertained, please like the video. It would greatly help. So make sure that you guys are familiar with my legal disclaimer. Like I said, it's in the description box below. But by watching my videos, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my videos, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. Also, this contract includes shadow banning, gatekeeping, plagiarism, copywriting of my messages. Everything said on this platform is copyrighted by God and the Holy Spirit. Okay. All right. Now, the next part is the prayer. So I'm praying to everything that's on this list, but we're going to go through a shortened version of it because I know that some of you guys may as I am. Okay. All right. So I asked the archangels and our guardian angels, your spirit team, your ancestors, your guides, along with all of my spirit team, ancestors, and guides, everything that's aligned with the light, come be with us now, and ascended masters as well. I'm calling in the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, specifically this reading and for every other. Okay. I ask that the Most High God continue to order our steps when dealing with anything in the psychic realm or spiritual realm. I also invoke and evoke protection and safety into this reading and to every other, and alchemy. I ask that the Most High God and specifically Archangel Michael, if they would return all evil, and block out anyone or anything that would try to negatively influence or impact this reading in any type of way. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, and the highest truth to be revealed to me and my collective, and I pray for all of my subscribers. I ask now as I call upon God's personal favor to give us the full armor of God for protection during our life's mission and work here on the earth. I'm eternally grateful for your favor, Heavenly Source, and for your unfailing love. Thank you for blessing me and my subscribers, and thank you for healing the sick and creating miracles. In your holy name, Lord my God, I give gratitude and thanks. I pray into thy holy presence and meditate upon your divine will. Amen. Okay, so I was just told to grab these 3 bracelets. Cleansing them on the selenite. Okay, this is called Bumblebee Jasper. All right, this helps with self-worth, self-confidence. This is called phosphosiderite. This phosphosiderite starts with a P. Okay, I'm going to type the 3 of these crystals in the chat. Bumblebee Jasper. Okay, phosphosiderite. And then we've got tourmalated quartz. This is tourmalated quartz. Okay, so the Bumblebee Jasper is for self-worth. Phosphosiderite is for destiny swap. And the tourmalated quartz is for empathic energy. So if you are somebody that picks up a lot of empathic energy, like you're highly empathic, I am really going to suggest that you get some type of jewelry because, again, for crystals to be working for you, they need to be within your energetic field. This is another form that Bumblebee Jasper comes in, which means they need to be within arm's length of you. If you have a crystal, so let's say that you're out shopping and you leave your crystal at home. Okay. your crystal that's at home is not doing you any good unless of course, the one example or one exempt crystal for that is clear quartz. Clear quartz can be programmed to help you long distances. But other than that, all the other crystals need to be within your energetic field to be working. Okay, because they're minerals and our energy absorbs the minerals that are in these crystals, and each different type of mineral, aka crystal, for a different function. Okay, all right, just so that you guys know that. But that's what I'm wearing today. So like I was just saying, there may be something of significance. All right. So my general message today is that you guys are coming into public recognition, fame, and fortune at this time. People are seeing you guys win, and it's kind of like you're winning in place, if that makes sense. Also, the beautiful background sound you're hearing is the YouTube platform called Healing Vibrations. Okay. You'll definitely want to get a subscription over there. They have different crystal singing bowl sound baths that cleanse the energy, and this one is to reset the chakras, I believe. All right, so I'm going to cut the deck. So yeah, basically God is rewarding you guys in the collective, and that could be with a new spiritual gift. You could be being rewarded gaining a new spiritual gift at this time. Okay, your gifts could be expanding. You could be gaining more wisdom at this time. You're definitely getting an ancestral bloodline gift, but it's coming from the Most High God because God is your ancestor, aka your higher self. All right. So we invite our higher selves forward into our consciousness and awareness now, into this physical vessel now. Okay. We always want to take the highest perspective that we can with this. So again, I feel like somebody was really blocked and stagnant, and like you were getting breadcrumbed at one point. You guys were getting breadcrumbed at one point. You're not in this current energy anymore. It's like, I really feel like you guys were being kept stagnant by some, and again, we all create our realities with our thoughts and our beliefs, but until you know that, it's kind of like working at a disadvantage for you. Until you know that you create your reality with your thoughts and your beliefs, you'll think that somebody else is doing something. I am picking up on somebody else doing something, but there's a reason that God allows certain things to happen and certain things to go through at a certain time. And it's for our learning. Okay. So basically, if we didn't experience spiritual warfare, then we would never know how to pray and know how to war in the spirit. So that's what I'm learning to understand is why we go through things, why God allows any of it to go on is because we need to learn how to defend ourselves, or we need to do something to, engage in spirit. Wow. King of Swords right off the back. Okay. So you guys, I am literally picking up on this person that was blocking you. That's no longer, like I'm telling you, this person is no longer blocking you. And maybe they're going to come across this reading. Maybe they watch other tarot. Maybe they pull cards. This is somebody in the legal or the justice system. Oh, happy Saturday to you too, Fashionista. Yes. Any other messages that come in? Okay. Cool. You've been questioning your safety. Okay. So I'm going to pause that deck and I'm going to grab another deck. Let's see. So is this like mental health safety? Is this like spiritual safety? Because I am picking up something's going on, Fashionista, with your root chakra. Oh, here it is. Right in front of the face. Yeah. Okay. So there's something going on with your root chakra. Like, have things been really foggy? I'm getting this really lethargic, slow type energy. Let's see. So I just heard black onyx. I don't know if somebody is trying to send you this spirit of confusion. They're also trying to send the spirit of alcoholism. And I don't think that you're an alcoholic. So why somebody's trying to either drive you to drink or cause you to drink, I'm not for sure yet. But I am picking up on that. You've been questioning everything. Okay. Well, you know what? You could be going through a dark night of the soul. So I pick up on, for people, 3 different transits that happen while we're alive. the first thing is the solar return, which is when the sun's at a certain position when the second that we're born, and it's in our natal chart. And then when the sun goes around in a cycle and it comes back to that exact position, it's usually in your 30s, you'll have a solar return, and it will cause everything in your life to end. I'm not kidding. It just causes like the biggest dark night of the soul. So we have the dark night of the soul where we don't know what our purpose is and we're feeling lost, or we could be basically asleep in the matrix. And then when you start to wake up, you have the dark night of the soul, wondering what your purpose is. The second is the solar return. The third is the Saturn return. And it's basically the same thing as a solar return. It just is when the planet Saturn, which is of restrictions, death, all time, all that stuff, when it goes back into the same it was in when you were born, it causes endings, like crazy endings. So this is why knowing your birth chart is so important. I would literally do a birth chart calculator and look at those transits. You'll want to look at, what your north nodes are so that you can tap into the astrological, because you have more than one astrology coming through. I can feel very strongly a Libra. You must have high Libra placement. I'm also feeling water energy. So it would be interesting to look at your birth chart because I do think there's something there. Okay. So who have you spoken to? Have you spoken to somebody in the past, 48 hours? Because I'm kind of getting that this is coming from another person. It's something that was around another person. Whatever this is, it's basically futile, which means it's pointless. Whatever this energy is, because I do pick that this is an energy. And that's why when you can rule out, like I'll just ask, is it solar return? No. Okay. Is it solar return? Yeah, it is partially. You're going through some type of part. So maybe I want you to, after this reading, I want you to look at your birth chart. Okay. Look at the sun and see where that's at. I'm feeling like, seems like you were doing just fine. And then boom, you talked to somebody, you empathically picked something up, and now you've been dealing with it for like, I was getting 48 hours. The moon. Yeah. So whatever this moon magic is, you spoke to another reader who says, I need to be careful. Someone may be out for you. Okay. I really feel like it may be that energy that you spoke to. They're doing something with the moon, that other reader. I don't know what it is, but wow. I almost saw the Eye of Horus right there in the middle. I like literally almost saw the Eye of Horus right there. So this has to do with the new Aeon. Yeah. I would say, okay, in my disclaimer, I talk about using a pendulum or using muscle testing. This is a pendulum. If you don't know what a pendulum is, muscle or resistance testing, you want to develop a way to get yes and no answers from your higher self. Because I don't feel like this reader meant to say this to you, like to make you scared, but they were channeling something negative. Basically, they weren't channeling God when they said that to you. So it's kind of like they directed it at you. But I also feel like like the moment that you heard that, you empathically picked up on this energy. Yeah, it's empathic energy, but there's also something weird going on with the moon. And the fact that I was looking at the moon and seeing the Eye of Horus, that means something significant to you. Look at this big Lilith energy coming through. So yeah, you definitely are being protected at this time, but I was picking up that your root chakra is a little bit low. When I say a little bit, I actually mean it's pretty low. Like you're usually functioning at a 9 out of 10 with your root chakra, which means that you're very grounded. But right now you're like functioning at a 2 out of 10. So whatever this moon magic is, oh, I see. Okay. This is another thing that you'll want to look at your birth chart. There is something called a Lilith moon. Okay. That has to do with a lot of depression. So knowing where that is in your chart, I'm hearing that you have a connection to Lilith, very strong. See, Lilith was never kicked out of the Garden of Eden. so you're not kicked out. And Adam and Eve were only, and Lilith and Adam and all that, that was only one divine pair out of many. There were many, many others. They just did not put them in the Bible. They wanted to keep it, you know, one way. But basically there was many other pairs. So I'm getting that you come from, your genetics are coming from this Lilith moon. You could have even had a lifetime on this moon. Whatever this is, this is what I'm feeling. Whatever this other reader was either talking about or doing, it's with the moon or with the Eye of Horus, trying to look into people's lives. It's futile, whatever they were trying to do. I think that they wanted to have a victory over you. Well, whatever is driving this person wants to have a victory over you. They want you to be defeated. But that's not your energy. That's why Lilith is stepping up and saying no. Okay, I know what this is about. So this entity is trying to get to you. We rebuke it in the name of Yeshua. And we ask that the Most High God remove it, whatever this is, because this entity is literally trying to get to you so that you do not start a new style of fashion. Like, this literally has to do with your creativity, and like this, whatever this new style of fashion that you create, it may be something that's really handy. Like, it could be gloves that could be worn 2 different ways or something like that. This is going to be like a clothing hack, but it's also going to be a new way of wearing clothes. Okay. They want to stop this from coming into production, but this is part of your destiny and fate. So I feel like it's destined for you to be in the limelight. And I just heard the Met Gala, like you may end up at the Met Gala or designing things for the Met Gala, which I think is probably one of the most, well, that and Victoria's Secret's, what is it, where they all dress up like angels, that fashion show and the Met Gala fashion show. Those are like 2 of the biggest. And I was hearing the Met Gala, end up meeting somebody that designs clothes for people that go to the Met Gala. This sun energy is coming through. So that's showing me that, you know, you are bringing light into whatever this is that you're working on. I don't feel like you need to be afraid. Lilith is stepping up. Now, some people consider Lilith to be a demon. She never really comes to me like that. She just is like different. Very powerful energy. Very expressive. So there is, I was going to look up this designer's name, but I literally forgot to. There is a satanic clothing designer that is also, she's also a witch. I don't remember what her name is. Anyways, her work is fabulous. Like, it is so expressive. It's so dark. It's just like, I've never seen anything like it. Okay, you're going to do something that's not going to be as dark, but it's going to be still like something that other people have not seen before. And I think that some of the fashion can get really whack and weird, but what I'm getting is that you have, just like how this lady she's a witch and a Satanist and a celebrity fashion person. If you type those 3 things into the Google, it'll probably bring up whatever her name is. But the way that she designs clothes, she goes through this whole process. And from what I see, it's like very much spiritually driven. So I'm getting that Lilith is coming through to shed light on how you're going to bring, it's like having a book of designs and sketches and then bringing that book to life. Okay. So that's what I'm hearing. What you're feeling uneasy about is, yeah, you definitely have somebody who's trying to work against you, or they want whatever this, it's like they want the fame and recognition that you're going to get without doing any work. Okay. And again, I don't know if this is an entity that was with that reader, or if it is that reader that's working with the entity, but somehow they're connected. But eventually you would have received a dream about this anyways. So yeah, make sure that you keep your sketchbook to yourself. Don't show anybody, because you're going to have a whole catalog of things that people can wear. That'll be like, it's going to be like something that, okay, if I wear it this way, it can be a scarf. If I wear it this way, it could be a hat. If I wear it this way, it could be a shawl, that type of thing. So that's kind of what I'm getting. And then I was also hearing like robes and satin. That may mean something to you as well. Look at this, an ace of discs. Okay, so this is what they're going to work to stop. Because whatever you put your intention and your time is going to grow. This ace of discs is the same thing as an ace of pentacles. It's money coming from heaven, because you're going to use your spiritual gifts and abilities to help other people. And to bring a product, you know how like that there's really big tariffs. I don't know if you're from America, but there's really big tariffs right now with other countries. So you becoming somebody that designs and makes fashion. This could even be like you selling designs to a fashion label like Coachella or something like that. But it could also be you having the designs, then meeting with a manufacturer that can actually manufacture this product, and then you can bring it to stores. And because this is the perfect time for you to work on this and to bring this forward, tariffs, because people can't just go online and get it anymore from, from Asia or wherever. I'll just say Asia, because Temu could be China, it could be Japan, I'm not for sure. But yeah, so this is like you having an American brand, also quality wool. Like there's going to be something about your designs that you just have very good, great quality material. So you are going to be meeting some people very shortly that are going to help you with this. Or you may even meet with somebody that when they see your designs, they're like, okay, I want to invest on that. How can I invest in on that? So the divine is sending you somebody with the Ace of Pentacles here. So this person with their moon magic, I feel like this does have to do with the Lilith moon. This is one reason why this other person that does have it out against you, I really feel like it's the reader. I feel like it's the last person that you talked to within the past 48 hours about yourself. Not just like you went to the drive-in and got something, or drive-through. Okay, let's see. The Hermit, look at this. So yeah, this is basically causing you to go into hermit mode. So there are times when spirit will have us isolate for our own good. And that's usually because we don't realize the dangerous people that we have around us. And so there is something about realizing who is around you and what their intentions are, but knowing that even with their bad intentions, you don't need to be afraid, because their efforts are futile. This moon magic, using the Eye of Horus to look into your life, like that's basically futile. See, somebody's looking into your life for the intention of trying to find this sun energy and the Ace of Discs. Somebody wants to know what your idea is. So yeah, I would definitely not. See, you're going to have somebody approach you when you're going to be talking to somebody that you trust about it. You may end up making a social media post about it. Somehow somebody is going to come to you and either ask for your design so that they can produce it, or they're going to want to invest. Now, this is going to be shortly, like it may be a month or two till this happens. But I feel like this is going to be a big change. Look at this. You're completing a cycle. So this cycle of having to be in hermit mode and not work with other people, you are actually completing this cycle. And this cycle is going to bring you into a place where you do have, it's going to be minimal work interactions. Like you may end up having to fire. Wow. You may end up having to fire somebody and rehire somebody once you get this started. But I was going to say, you may end up having to just like, look into getting a business license is what I'm hearing, because as soon as you bring this idea to the forefront, it's going to like blow up. right? So you want to make sure that you have, and I don't know exactly what it is for copyright so that other people can't steal your design, but you'll want to make sure that you have that and whatever business license set up, because I'm getting that once you bring like, and then also you're going to have different sources of, you're going to have different people who are the sources of your material, right? So somehow you're going to be meeting these people. I'm kind of hearing that you may meet some of these people online and then meet with them in person to sign a contract. Again, make sure that you have a lawyer present anytime that you're signing a contract with anything. But I do get that this is going to be something people will want to invest in, and they'll want to bring it to the general public. Like it'll either be in designer clothing stores, or it'll be something, I think you're going to have the option of bringing it to designer clothing, or which would be like only wealthy can afford that, or bringing it to like a Walmart, which is like, would be a cheaper. What I'm hearing, go for the highest goal, go for having your designer clothes, because they are going to be designer clothes. They're, and if you go the route of having a fashion designer put your clothes out, I feel like you're going to get the most money, and you're going to be the most satisfied, and you're going to come into fame and fortune. Just like that, and I hate to call her the satanic lady, but I literally forgot her name. But just how she had become super famous from her clothing. Once you see what she's created, you're going to be like, oh my God, like I'm enchanted. This is amazing. But yeah. So this completion is not anything that you need to worry about. It's actually good when you complete cycles with people. This cycle of you being drained and blocked is also over. Look at that. Yeah, because somebody was wanting this love union. So are you with anybody? I don't know if you have taken classes for fashion. It may be like something like that. I don't know if you're going to meet somebody that's in fashion school. So what I would ask, you have a lover at this time, because I'm seeing the love card, completion, love. Okay, that's interesting to me. Love is very significant. This means that you know how to fill your own cup and how to fill others as well. So if you had a hard time with love relationships in the past, I don't feel like that's going to continue. You're breaking free, like this completion of a cycle. You're literally breaking free of something. And it could have just been, that one of your exes was a demon, or had a demon, or they are a demon. This person had a grip on you. Yeah, the Princess of Swords. Look at this. Look at you and your royal behind. Where is the love? Exactly. This is what I'm saying, that you're coming through some type of completion. There was an entity that was trying to come into a person to interact with you. I know that sounds fucking weird, but that's what I'm picking up on. You're a princess. You're royalty. So this makes sense. Now what I'm seeing, you're obviously of the bloodline of Lilith, which is nothing to be afraid of. Lilith and Adam, or Lilith and Samael. This Princess of Swords, this is somebody who's you're very creative, you're very expressive, and you express yourself in subtle ways, like through clothing, through your posture. Okay. So just be careful of who you allow in your energy and to read your energy. I am definitely seeing a dark-skinned man that is going to help you with designing these clothes. Welcome in, Shaman Maria. Or maybe this person is definitely in some type of fashion designer. And this is not an African American, but this is somebody that has darker skin. They're very attractive. I think that they're sexy. This is sexy energy. So look at this. The Ace of Swords, you are protected. Yeah, you do not need to worry. You are literally protected. You are very protected at this time. Your work is also protected. That's why if you just do what I said and get, a business license and whatever, fashion copyright or whatever on your designs, you're going to be set. You're going to be set. And actually, you're going to be set to work with other people because they're going to be, wanting to add. This is just going to be a really good idea. So whatever these people were doing was really futile, because this is part of your destiny. It is your destiny to succeed for that. So for whatever this entity that's body jumping people, for it to want to, like it's too late. It's whatever that thing is, it's ran out of time. Yeah, you're definitely protected. Look at this, the Lovers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this new love union that's coming in is protected. This person is going to be a designer or something like that. Maybe I'm not saying it exactly right, but they're going to be a designer, an intuitive, a creative person. And God is protecting this love union. There has been an energy that's been attacking twin flames for a very long time. And again, this is possibly a collective energy from the collective witches of the world or whatever, but it's like generally set out. It's sent to all twin flames, and it is the karma. It's negative, unjustified karma that's being sent to every twin flame to keep the twin flames from coming together. Okay. And that's what the agenda is. And the agenda, well, that's what the agenda was / is, to block people from their flames, because that's part of the planet's ascension when that comes together. So this is just telling me that it's time for this Lover to come in. And I don't feel like you need to do anything out of the ordinary. Okay, so whatever this person that was blocking you, they're still in this debauchery energy. They're still there. Whoever this is that likes to dip into your energy, they literally are still on this debauchery crap. This is the energy that was with that reader. Very much doing one thing in the public and doing some other weird shit behind the scenes. I don't know what these witches and readers are looking for, but they're trying to use the Eye of Horus, because that's what I saw when I looked at the moon card. They're looking for something. It could be this love union that's destined to come through for you. Like, this is part of your destiny. So maybe that's why they're trying to look at that. Also, somebody tried to get into your Akashic records. That's why you're feeling uneasy. I had that. Okay, that exact feeling. I felt that yesterday. Literally, I felt somebody trying to get into my Akashic records, and I just went straight to Psalm 91. So what I'm hearing is that whatever you're doing to protect your energy is working at this time, but you still want to like let down the walls that you've put up with fear, because when your root chakra is low, your root chakra is what feeds, it's what connects with the earth, and it feeds all of your energetic systems. So when your root chakra is functioning low, it could be the mental body that's affected. It could be any of the chakra systems, and any of the physical systems of the body could be affected, right? That's why it like kind of feels like a lethargy. The thing is that I'm already a completed universe where you have already completed this body of work, this fashion, this new age fashion, and that, it may be new age shops that you bring this to. So yeah, I just heard also yoga studios. So there's already, see, this is how they can see your destiny. I'm starting to understand. There's already this reality that's created where you have this twin flame that's in your life. And I do feel like you guys, either this person has a child, a daughter, or you're going to have a daughter, something like that. Or you'll inherit a daughter by inheriting your twin flame. But they're going to be into the same thing that you're into. Yeah, Queen of Wands energy. Yeah, definitely very powerful energy, very striking energy. I just love the way that picture looks. You may do something with halos, adding that into your fashion designs. I mean, it's gonna like how stuff is for the Met Gala. It's very creative. So let's see what else. Okay, indolence. So you're dealing with somebody who is into debauchery, and they're also lazy, which means you're dealing with a copycat. Anytime that I see, but whatever they're trying to do is futile. They want to copy whatever this body of work is without even knowing for sure what it is. They just know that they want it because they don't have any ideas themselves. But God is saying that these people or this person or this entity that tried to stop you, basically it's tried to goat you into doing debauchery. That's why I was picking up on them trying to get you to drink alcohol or something like that. Look at the star. Yes, this is your destiny. You do have abilities, and your spiritual abilities are going to help people feel better about their bodies. You know how important that is? It's like the fallen angels. I don't remember which one, but one of them, there's so many fallen angels, like millions of them. Okay. But one of them came down to earth and brought fashion with it. I feel like that fallen angel may be associated with Lilith. There's definitely a connection there. And there's a connection to you about fashion. So you may hold within your psyche, within your own self, codes and blueprints to higher angelic fashion and higher ways of expression. And yes, this is what that entity wants. So you do have something that somebody wants, or this entity. Again, it's not just working through that reader, it's working through other people. It body jumps. So God, why is it? Oh, it's trying to block. Yeah, it's trying to block you from creating this body of work. See, it wants to stop you from making fashion powerful again. And it does hold a level of power right now, but it's not as powerful as it used to be in the past. Look at this. It's tied into this abundance, though. Overflowing. Like those are overflowing cups of abundance. So yeah, you're going to be just fine. I would definitely do something to cleanse your energy, reground it, and then just, say a general prayer of, I don't allow anybody into my Akashic records, and I don't allow anybody that has any negative intention or anything negative with them to read my energy, because you allowed your energy to be read by somebody that opened up a can of worms on you, is kind of what I feel. And they didn't do this. I don't know if they did it on purpose. Like I said, a lot of people don't realize when they're being driven by something else. I can always tell. The reason I can tell is because I'm very aware of my thoughts and my feelings, and I know what it feels like to have thoughts pushed into you. Look at this abundance. When you create this is going to be very swift. Like this is going to be a windfall. Also, you're going to be an elevating up in social stature is what I just heard. So you may feel like, you don't have the best connections right now, but I'm literally picking up that you're going to have good connections. So there is a level of people that are these like wannabe chasing, wannabe famous people, but they are not shit. Basically, they're copycats. You are going to surpass this level of copycats, okay? And you're going to actually be creating with other people that are very creative like yourself. Yeah, their attempt to steal from you will fail, so don't even worry about it. I really would not worry about it. I would just say I revoke giving anything permission to read my destiny. Just continue to say that to get this other reader out of your energy, because they're definitely pulling energy from you. I don't know what they're doing with the moon, but it's not working on you. Not in the way that it should. I'll just say that. If it was working on you in the way that it should, you would be engaging in this debaucherous activity, being lazy and in the failure energy, and they would be in your energy getting this love offer and all of these ideas. This person's a psycho. So yeah, you are definitely dealing with somebody that's not right in the brain. This Prince of Cups, this very well could be, see the Princess of Swords, Prince of Cups energy. This is your person coming in. So he's going to be extremely compassionate, extremely kind, but also very expressive and very emotionally deep. You may end up being friends with this person because you may not, like at first glance, you may be like, oh, that's not my type. Trust me, this person is definitely your type. It's just a status or a quo that you've held on to, this man is going to meet your expectations and go beyond that. Okay. I'm seeing so much happiness. And these other people that when you see this person coming in, they're going to be oppressed. God is oppressing these people because they haven't learned their lesson on trying to do this destiny exchange shit. It's literally an energy swap. They have not learned their lesson yet. You are going to be in the energy of gain because you're bringing virtuousness. I don't know if maybe you're going to be making some type of clothing that people in Islam could wear and people over here could wear. Like, it's something that's going to be very trendy. You're a trendsetter. That's why these people want to copy you so bad, because you are a trendsetter. But, you also are in the Queen of Wands energy, which is somebody who is very attractive and can get their message, get themselves out to other people. Cats or leopards may be very significant. No, I just heard jaguars may be very significant at this time. The jaguar is like the strongest in the cat family. They can literally bite through the skull of an alligator and all that stuff. So they're like extremely powerful. This virtuous energy is going to bring virtue back into clothing. That's why something wants to stop you. So it may cater to many different types of people. Prince of Wands. Yeah. A very fiery, hot, sexy energy here. I feel like this is still your divine masculine. He may also be like interested in bringing virtue back into dressing. Because back in the day when you use certain colors, like especially in Rome, you may want to research this just for your own reference with what you do with color yourself. Like, it would mean certain things when they would wear different colors. And of course, they had the basic like toga type thing going on. You may end up doing something with creating clothing that's, oh, I just heard you may create some stuff that's like cosplay. So yeah, it's going to be really brilliant. Knight of Cups. Look at this water energy. So you are going to have somebody that comes in to invest, and you're also going to have somebody that already does this type of production work. So this is literally all of the pieces falling into place so that you can get this body of work out to other people. So don't be overwhelmed by it. Just do a little bit at a time and know that you're protected. Know that God is literally up. Whatever you've been doing with prayer and with cleansing is working, because you were doing really good until you let this person into your energy. And it's just been the past 48 hours, like I said, since you talked to them, that they've tried to do something. And again, they could be possessed by something. That's why they tried to do something. But either way, they're up under the moon doing some shit. I don't know where people get the energy and the time to be online during the day and up in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know. I guess I feel kind of old, but there's not enough energy in my life to do any weird shit. So it's like this person's trying to oppress your destiny from coming into existence because they want it. But this person already stole something. Like, you're dealing with somebody that's stolen many people's destiny, and they're not happy with the destiny that they steal, but they really fucked up trying to take yours, because Lilith is coming through and going like, no, you're not going to touch my ancestor. This could literally be somebody that wants to use science against you. Okay. You're having a victory over this, majorly having a victory, and a victory over what science tell you. Yeah. So like I said, just, when you get readings, it's basically when you ask for a reading, you give them permission to read you, but you can always pray that if somebody has something with them, or if they're being influenced, that not be allowed to read your energy. Because I'm not really getting that this reader even got very accurate information. I feel like whatever they said it was inaccurate. Okay, it was accurate because they knew that later on that night they were going to do shit to your destiny. That's the only way that it's accurate. But that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If this person says to you, oh, there's something bad chasing you, and then they go in the spirit and they send some shit to chase you, which is exactly what I'm picking up on, that's like not a really a prophecy. That's just you for sure fulfilling your what you said was prophetic. Okay. And so that's why be careful who you give access to. Strength. Yeah, victory. This is a strong victory that you're gonna have. These people already, like, if they really saw your destiny, which I feel like they saw a little bit of it, but they didn't see the full of it. And they're probably not going to see this reading. If they do, they're going to feel really stupid for doing that. But yeah, whatever the deity that this person rocks with tried to overpower Lilith, and then the Most High God got involved. And that's what you're feeling around you. You have an element of strength coming in that is surpassed. Yeah, this person is a cruel, sadistic person, or the entity with them. They intended to be cruel and sadistic by pushing you out of the spot that you're supposed to be in, but you're too strong for that. You've already had a victory over these people, and you didn't even have to do anything. Yeah, so you don't need to worry. I do feel like you are worried because what that person said, but literally that person was trying to create that. That's not something that was already going on. Because your root chakra was high right before you interacted with them, and it's been low ever since. So, God, can we work on rebalancing, realigning the chakras for fashionista, and then reboosting the root chakra? So that you can have, this is about you having the energy needed to produce this body of work. And so again, you could have a lot of energy coming to you at this time or flowing through you. That is God's energy. So that's that untappable strength, and that virtuous energy is what's going to help you, create this body of work. Also, you knowing when to cut people off, because the Queen of Swords is somebody that is they do put their walls up, okay, because for defense, basically, around themselves. But also, the Queen of Swords is somebody that knows when to not talk to people, knows when to cut people off. You're going to be impeccable in this next season of your life, where you just will know who to cut off and who not to cut off. So you may have a cousin or some shit like that wants to do whatever you have some type of copycat, and it's not this reader. This reader tried to do a destiny swap, but you do have somebody in your family that has always copied you. Just beware of that. Don't share this information with them. Yeah, because they want dominion. They want domination over your projects. This is about, like the entertainment industry being a bitch. They're worried that they're not going to have domination over these upcoming stars and light workers that are coming into the public. That's straight up what these, whatever their celebrities or whatever are worried about, because they serve ball. They don't really serve God or anything. So most of them are working with ball. So really they need to just stay to their own business. What is this shit? Like, you are going to see through these people's plots every time, like literally every time, like clockwork. The universe, because the universe is always going to give you messages with numbers, different frequencies ringing in your ears. Anytime that you have ringing in your ears, you are being required or called upon to listen, because the universe is trying to speak to you in a certain type of way. So yeah, you're definitely protective. You got Lilith coming through for you. These people wanted to dominate you and your ability to create so that they could copy it. You're just dealing with people that lame. Like, God has seen everything that they tried to do. And that's why I'm like, this is pretty much it. The first card was futile. That's why it's completely futile for this person to have tried to do this. It's literally futile. Look at this. These people are prude, and they're prude in the way of these people that are in the entertainment business that keep trying to throw this energy out to cutting off people, that's been your energy lately. Exactly. Yeah. That's what's going to save you, because you have these people that are in the industry, the fashion industry already, or the designing industry, or whatever you would call that. And they have a level of prudence when it comes to accepting new things, accepting new people, and accepting new ideas, right? They have their integrated prudence into their level of fashion, that you have to be of the wealthiest of wealthies. You may end up creating something that goes for people that can buy it at Walmart, and for people that can buy it at Coachella or any of these other designers, right? Hi, Girl Gone. Welcome in. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. Okay, so that's what this is about. Yeah, you're going to create peace. This peace card with the universe, this is beautiful. That's part of your destiny, to have peace. So these people are not going to do anything about that. But yeah, just continue to cut people off. That anybody that, and what you can do is you can say, God, if there's anybody in my life that doesn't mean me good, can you please show them to me, or send a message, send an angel, whatever, like basically show them to me in my dreams, or show them to me in the waking life, so that I know who is here for me and who is not here for me. Oh, you've been having lucid dreams. That is awesome, Girl Gone. But yeah, you definitely have some industry people here, fashionista, that are very prude about accepting new. It feels like high school bullshit, but they're really prude about accepting new designers in, because they want to like own people. This is that, they feel like they need to own every star designer. No. That's why I think you should look up the designer that's the Satanist, because I don't think she allows people to do stupid fuck shit. She's not over here worshiping Baal and all this dumb crap. Engaging in basically debauchery. Because that's what they're going to entice you to do. And I heard specifically, when you go to these like parties or meetings or whatever, somebody may try to offer you alcohol. Don't drink the alcohol, is what I'm hearing. And it's not because it's poisoned or drugged or anything like that. It's just because you want to keep your work pure, and you don't. And when people drink alcohol, they can overshare or they can undershare. Okay, if that makes sense. So I hope that helped you. But yeah, I wouldn't be afraid. Make sure you go outside today, drink a lot of water, take some time to put your feet in the sand, in the grass, hug a tree. Grounded this time, you will be able to stay grounded. So now we're going to go back to the collective reading. So this King of Swords, this is somebody that conceals their emotions. They're definitely combative, and they're definitely up under judgment. This person feels like they have the best ideas. Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate you too. And Girl Gone, I would get a journal, put it by your bed. And actually, if you don't want to use a journal, there is an app called Dream. There's a couple apps that are called Dream. Okay. Wow. Why did you dream of TMY? Is that a person, TMY, with an arrow pointing north? Huh. Okay, let's see. Well, this dream is about another lifetime. So I feel like when you were in this dream, why am I getting, what is that TV show? Okay, there is a TV show, but I don't remember what it's called. Real helpful spirit. All right, let's just see. So the whole thing about going north. Okay, God just showed me. Okay, so at the time when Noah's flood happened, you were on the planet, but you were not a human. You were I don't know if in the dream you were able to see your body. You weren't a human. You were more like a giant. It was on a piece of paper. Okay. Yeah, so it was on a piece of paper in your dream. So you were taking notes. So maybe you were, what I'm seeing is that during the time of Noah's flood, a lot of giants fled north. What I'm getting is that this other person that was in the dream with you, they went with you and you guys escaped because something was coming from the south, if that makes sense. Look at this. This is just confirmation. This 6 of Cups is confirmation. I was definitely feeling like a Nephilim type energy. Now, this 6 of Cups, these 2 children, this is like nostalgic memories. This is a past life right here. So that's what you were dreaming of. Did you see any water? Oh, TMY. It just said TMY, and you don't know what TMY is? I feel like TMY is like a place or a person. It could be a person and it could be a place. But I feel like that's the location that you were going to. So that could be also Tartaria is an inner earth city. So is Shambhala. I don't know if either of those names, they made you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you were, what? The Golden Compass. Is that what that movie TV show is called? Okay. In the Golden Compass, they have people who have animal spirits, but the animal spirits exist outside of them and they can shapeshift into all the different spirit animals that somebody is. I was seeing literally that TV shows. I just got chills all over my arms. I was seeing that TV show right now. So yeah, there is something, there's an Easter egg in the Golden Compass. You may want to look into that TV show. There's definitely an Easter egg about the journey north, but I'm also getting that, you know, you were part of the Nephilim that had prophetic dreams. You guys received insight before the incident was to take place to evacuate like that area. And that compass energy, I just keep seeing it spinning and then ending up on facing north. So yeah, it gives me kind of like the vibe of like Game of Thrones, and this 6 of Cups is definitely a nostalgic. It's the only nostalgic happy memories and good times that comfort you in times of trouble. So it says, remember the good times and let go of the bad. Someone or something from the past brings you happiness, emotional relief, and grief from loss. So yeah, not all of the Nephilim were saved. I can definitely tell you that. And whatever made you, like I'm picking up on that you were going back home, going north. If as soon as you got north, because not the entire planet was not flooded. I'm getting big Antarctica vibes, like straight up Antarctica. That you maybe even could have journeyed to Antarctica where your ancestors were. That's why I was like, gives me kind of Game of Thrones, like how they have that winter. The 5 of Pentacles, yeah, because you were losing your home in the dream. So anytime we have a dream about another lifetime, that basically is giving us clues to what we're feeling and experiencing in this lifetime. Okay. And what I'm hearing is that not the Nephilim were not rejected by God. The ones that were eating humans, you were not one that would, you were basically a giant, but you were a plant-based giant. Okay. You didn't eat people. You didn't even eat animals. You could in this life be called to be vegetarian and not know why. And it's because you witnessed these other Nephilim, right? Devour people and what it did to them. And anything is probably the worst shit for your body that could ever be, besides straight up poison, because it's like poison. So what I'm getting is that, you're remembering that you had to flee because the Nephilim were being kicked off the earth. And, God's not going to punish all of the good with the bad. Like there's different stories where there's one story where this lady giant lives off of eating peas and stuff, like, off off of a plant, and she helped build some of the pyramids and stuff like that. Like, she was a helper. I'm getting off of that. That's why you were, you received in something about, maybe you're afraid that when it's time to leave this plane, that you're not going to hear the call. You're going to hear the call. Just like in this other lifetime where there was a big transition and that flood happened, you got word of it. Like, you were sent, God sent you a message in a dream, and then you basically followed that message north, and you escaped the tragedy. Ooh, I got chills again. You escaped the tragedy. Yeah, you 8 of Cups. You basically walked away from the area that you were existing in, because that area was going to be flooded. And so it seemed like a disappointment for, the good suffering with the bad. That seems like a disappointment, but this was actually a win for you, because like I said, not a lot of the Nephilim actually survived, but you're one of them. I've never read anything like this before, to be honest. I've seen little bits and pieces. Also, you were one of the Nephilim that helped Enoch. You personally knew Enoch when Enoch was alive on the planet. And Enoch supposedly lived to be like 300 years old. I'm getting that, you were the planet was fifth dimensional at this time. So when this all went down, Enoch was also fifth dimensional. Yeah. This was a 10 of Swords to your, basically, you escaped this 10 of Swords, which would have been that flood. But not all of your brothers and sisters, your Nephilim brothers and sisters did, because they're, like I said, you were part of the groups that survived off of vegetables and worked with people, okay, and lived amongst them rather than against people and eating people, if that makes sense. Also, how that there was that Lilith bloodline connection in the reading that I just did for Fashionista. I'm picking up on a divine feminine. It could be like it's some type of divine feminine connection similar to that. Yeah, because basically this was an 8 of Swords. This was basically I'm just laughing because look at the water at her feet right there. Like, if you would have stayed, you would have ended up being trapped by that water. You've been having cold chills lately. Okay, so I just got like 3 cold chills since I was doing this reading. And yeah, you're definitely having deja vu, but not connecting the dots. So when you have a dream and it seems confusing, I would ask, the first question I would ask myself is this a dream from another lifetime? And then secondly, is this a dream about this lifetime? And if there is anything in the dream about this lifetime, what is it? And the third thing I would ask is this a dream that is going to influence or affect my waking life? Yes, you're a very old soul. And you've been so dedicated to the earth. Like I said, you were with this other female giant because you were female, like you were a female giant. And you survived off of vegetables, and you basically helped people build homes, build villages, all that stuff. You loved people so much that when God sent you the dream that a flood was coming, you were very upset, very disappointed, because you would have to leave these people behind. But you were better than these people. Like, these people were still, I just want to say, like, low vibrational as all hell. They were very low vibrational. And they would sacrifice their own kin to these giants that basically demanded humans for food. I mean, they really, like, history wanted to leave out the fact that giants were here. But even with that, Abraham Lincoln did a speech on top of, it's like what is it called? It's the biggest waterfall in the United States. Not Mount Rushmore, but oh my God, I've actually been there. So I can't believe I'm not remembering. Why am I not? So somebody is trying to mess with your memory, because I'm like, why am I not remembering? this waterfall. It's the biggest one in the United States. Wow. Well, anyways, Abraham Lincoln made a speech and he talked about how the giants used to own all of the land, like basically in that area. So there may be something about Mount Rushmore, but I'm not getting that it's that. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So yeah, Niagara Falls. Thank you, Shaman Maria. Thank you so much. It is Niagara Falls. So you may want to look at the speech that Abraham Lincoln made at Niagara Falls, because he talks about basically how the giants used to own all of that territory. And so now we own it, but before it was giants. So they really, humanity has done a very good job of not allowing the book of Enoch into the Bible and not allowing any literature. And even the Native Americans have testimony and stories of their giants. Like, they absolutely were real. This Page of Pentacles shows me that this is because why this happened was because you didn't come from even though you came from a fallen angel, this still wasn't a bad seed. I'm saying that you were possibly pregnant when you had to flee. You went north and then you had a child right here. Yes, Niagara Falls. That's it. Yeah. And I'm getting that you had a very long lifetime. Like, so you had an impact on how people raise their children in the village that you were working in or living in. And these people really, really adored you. So you were very distraught when God told you needed to walk away. Yeah. It's so basically you taking your unborn child, which ended up being this Page of Pentacles, to Antarctica. It started another race of giants, like, that have adapted with the snow and the ice. And I feel like if we were able to go over the Antarctica ice wall, your children, these types of frost giants, they still exist there. They live there right now. And these are like ancestors to you. So you don't need to be afraid of that. I'm also seeing those like White Walkers from Game of Thrones. So yeah, definitely icy. And I'm seeing that ice wall, but it's like whatever's Antarctica's mountains are. There's a certain point that we can't as humans go over, and anybody that does, they perish basically. And so, yeah, this Six of Wands energy was because you became well known for helping different civilizations at different times. And also, there were other creatures living in Antarctica that tried to challenge your new race of giant or Nephilim bloodline, tried to challenge that, and God called judgment on it immediately. With this Holy Spirit, Ace of Cups, always going to be an exception to the rule, right? And it just looks like in this situation, you were the exception to the rule. Wow. That is so interesting. Yeah. So the dark shadow that followed you was the dark shadow, the old shadow you. Yeah. And you just found that out too. So, we integrate that shadow. Cause like I said, we don't need to be afraid of our shadow. It's not, even though it's dark, it's the part of us that maybe we haven't looked at. It doesn't mean that it's negative. Okay. But yeah, I am getting some like major Peter Pan type energy of integrating your shadow. This Ace of Cups is what God was like, basically, no, I am sanctioning, I'm allowing this new race of being to exist. So you definitely have connections to Antarctica. You may want to look at a map of Antarctica. You may get a feel for where this ancestor is. For some reason, I feel like they're frozen in the ice. You actually have another soul aspect of yourself that's frozen in the ice right now. Yes, feel like your gifts are on crack. That's exactly it. They're expanding right now. And you're becoming aware of this ancient part of yourself that's been on the planet. And I that the reason is because you brought so much wisdom to mankind. You literally, you helped them develop spiritually from not being able to use their intuition. Yeah, so definitely, you could have been feeling in the dream like you were having to either flee or defend yourself. And if you would have stayed, you would have drowned with the other giants. But because you chose to go north, you guys were not affected. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Girl Gone. You are amazing. Oh, this is so cool. This is so freaking cool. So yeah, the Holy Spirit basically protected you, giving you that message. Yeah, and literally, I feel like you had fled just in time because there was a 5 of Wands. Like these other giants, they were all arguing about the flood that was going to come, and they were literally, um, you know, like telling you not to leave because it was not going to happen, but you followed your intuition in this other life. I think that's the main thing of it's reminding you to follow your intuition in this life as well, just like you did the other life. Like you know how to escape danger and how to evade death, literally, and how to transcend death, actually, because that giant aspect of yourself still exists in Antarctica. You're just frozen, which is like basically putting it's like temporarily being out of commission. So it'd be pretty interesting if they would just be honest with us about what's in Antarctica, about the giants that live there, because these giants have technology. You took whatever this ancient alien technology is that you have, you took it to Antarctica and you put it there in an alien base, and you live there for like ever, but now you're frozen. And I feel like maybe our Antarctica is defrosting. Maybe you're defrosting. That could be why your consciousness here is having that memory come forward. I definitely resonate with that. I had a similar experience in the dream state to that. Yes, you definitely have a lot of past lives, but not everybody has a lot of them dealing with this planet. You have a lot of them dealing with this planet. You were Native American so many times, like so many hundreds of thousands of times. Yeah, the 10 of Wands. This was like literally life. Being around these other giants had become a continual just burden. It was like a burdensome life because, you know, they separated there were giants that would eat people that were not nice, and their irises would turn blood red. Okay. Yours were like a normal color. So yeah, if you would have stayed, you would have ended up running into these burdens. But because you chose to follow your intuition, you saved yourself and your bloodline. Yes, you're welcome. I'm glad that I was able to decode that for you, because this is so important for you to know about yourself, especially to know that you have another aspect of yourself that is like a divine helper. That is so cool, you guys. Oh my gosh, Girl Gone. That's so cool. But you definitely were a female giant because you gave birth, you had a child, and that child, then its DNA adapted to the cold. And it was like you followed a specific plan or a map or something like that. Yes. Yeah, for sure. I think you should do a past life read or a past life regression for sure. Regression is like going through hypnosis where it'll take you into that lifetime. I'm really getting that it's the same gifts and abilities that you used in that lifetime because you were highly evolved spiritually. Those are coming into this lifetime. That's why you feel like your gifts are on crack. It's not like they actually are on crack, but in a sense they are, because they're like becoming stronger. They're opening up, but it's not in a negative way. It's just so that basically whatever it is that you're going through, that you evade the dangers that Christ, that God, that all of it's warning you of, because you are a direct descendant of Jesus. I mean, I'm definitely picking up Jesus in your bloodline. And also Jesus was in the bloodline. That's why you were one of the giants that was very kind and the people loved. Yes. Yeah, their eyes would turn red when they would eat people. And then they would be, and again, They didn't have to, these giants that were just a-holes, the Nephilim that were a-holes, they didn't have to eat people. They liked to eat people. But God told so many flippin' times, you dream of a red-eyed human before? I wonder if you're dreaming, that's what you're dreaming of. Oh my God. That is so wild. You've already dreamt about, yeah, literally. I really think that, well, I know this from what I've seen, that these were, those were the ones with the red eyes. Those were the problematic giants because they didn't have to eat people. And not only did they not have to eat people, they were causing the native people of whatever the land was, right? Because there's native people of every type of land, but they were threatening, harassing, the native people, and they would offer their protection to the native people for an offering. So these native people would go out and grab people from their other tribes and they would give them and feed them to the giants so they didn't have to feed their own. But these giants influenced these humans into doing cannibalistic stuff. And so it could be that the humans that were into the cannibalism, that their eyes could have possibly turned red as well. I would not be surprised. But yeah, those were the wicked ones. That's why God sent the flood, because they didn't have to eat people. They could have eaten peas and rice just like you, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So wild. Okay. So we're going to do just a short reading for the collective. Oh, I think I want to use the soul timing. So this is a great time to understand that whole precept of why that and also to not be afraid, knowing that God is always going to lead you out of any disaster that needs to be sent. But you in this other life, tapped in spiritually, you were helping other people become spiritual, and you still have this wisdom within you. And that's why the whole journey going north, you passed so many different groups of giants, and all of them were like, no, you're crazy, we're not going north. We don't believe in Enoch and all that shit. Like, we don't believe what Enoch said. But you're like, yeah, no, you had seen what you had seen, and you had to make the journey north. It's almost like a Mother Mary energy, but with a giant. You had to make that journey north, basically, with only a few other people. Well, a few other giants, because the other ones were stupid, and it was just their karma anyways to be taken down. Pisces time, February 19th to March 20th. Feel when the time is right. Intuitive, creative emotions. Look at that. Look at that. So there is something significant about the sign Pisces. You may want to see where Pisces is located in your chart. You also may know somebody that is a Pisces. And this intuitive nature, maybe you were a Pisces when you were this giant. But for the rest of you guys, you may either be a Pisces or you may know a Pisces. And then we have September. It says, get back into your groove and be productive, bustling, faster pace. So yeah, you may feel that your energy, you guys, speeds up in September. I feel like you guys are going to get an influx of new energy and new abilities. And it's going to be abilities that are connected to your intuition, which could be a new way of sensing things or feeling things, or even bringing about manifestation. Leo time, July 23rd to August 22nd, step into the spotlight. Confident, ambitious leader. So yeah, you guys definitely have Leo highly aspect in your chart. And I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, you're very welcome, Girl Gone. I'm so glad that you brought that to me, because that was really interesting to look at. So yeah, this Leo energy, this could be somebody that you guys know. It could also be something in your own birth chart that caused you to be led by your heart and your intuition. And I do feel like if you guys are feeling that you're in a stressful situation, your heart's is gonna be what's there to lead you out. Then we've got Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. Explore an uncharted territory. That is so funny. Wow. Travel, freedom, and learning. Look at that. And with what we were just talking about, this completely lines up as well. Exploring that uncharted territory, and then travel, freedom, and learning. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is so beautiful. And then we have Aries. So this Aries is definitely something that you want to look at in your chart, because I feel like you've got South Node Aries, which means that it says March 21st to April 19th, go after what you want, energetic, passionate, and bold. I feel like this Aries being in your South Node basically causes you to question whether you should go in a certain direction. It's which can be good if you're not going in the right direction, but you usually are right the first time. So if you have to take any type of test, know that the first answer that you're picking is the correct answer. Wish fulfilled. Look at that. Being spontaneous and taking risks pays off. Serendipity, destiny, and fate. Look at that. So this all has to do with your wish fulfillment, your destiny, and your fate. You may end up writing a book about this journey that you went on as a giant to the north. And then you may literally talk about basically how it brought you into wish fulfillment. I mean, there's something interesting about writing it down, because other people are going to remember this situation. Aquarius time. Yeah, this is definitely a new age. January 20th to February 18th. Take an unusual path, innovative, unique, and open-minded. So yeah, you're extremely open-minded, which I really, really like. And you understand things on a higher level, which is going to give you the insight needed to explain things on a mundane level, because this is very spiritual. I mean, this is like you have a gift that saves your life. And that's what God wants you guys to know, is that you will always be notified when something is array or array is not even a word. When something's not, you will be notified with a dream, or you'll have somebody else come and tell you something and you'll be like, why did that person just say that? It's like, oh, because they're delivering a message, right? I do feel like, this other lifetime that you guys experienced. Look at that, girl gone. Look at that compass. It says change course. Oh my gosh. This is so funny. It says you may need to different path to get there. So that's it. That's part of the dream. Why you saw that on the piece of paper was because you realized that to get to where you needed to be spiritually, that you needed to take another course and take another path, go in a different direction. It says direction, guidance, and being aligned. Oh my gosh. That is wild. I love it though. That is so funny to me. Oh my gosh. August, reap the rewards of what you have planted, abundance, ripening, and harvest. So yeah, this August, you guys are going to be very plentiful. So I would expect a new direction of change to come in for you spiritually. You may feel aligned with higher forces. You're definitely in alignment to receive guidance at this time. Also, some of you guys may be star messengers. February. So we did have Aquarius time, but February, it says take stock of resolutions and assess your progress, transition, reflect, and repair. So that heart right there could be the people that you had to leave behind, that were not open to hearing your Christ-like message, because it was the same thing of the mythology of Jesus, but with giants. That's literally what I'm picking up. Wow. And January, ditch old habits, recharge and focus on self-care, start fresh and goal setting. So this next January, you guys are going to feel like you're ready to set a new goal. You also may have a project that ends up being completed in January. Virgo time, August 23rd to September 22nd. Set realistic goals to reach, practical, organized, and detailed. So yeah, as you set these new goals, you may end up linking up with your Virgo self. Happening now. So yeah, that is happening now. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Time is fleeting, so don't miss the opportunity. Countdown past and limited. So yeah, this is just reminding you that when you get the intuition, when you get the message to move in a different direction, you guys just act on it immediately. Don't get a message from God and then sit on it, because you don't want to know why God's sending that message. Like, maybe you do, but most of the time you don't want to know. You don't want to stick around and wait too long and then find out the hard way why God sent you the intuitive message, right? So never doubt that. And this is the thing. In this journey that you took, girl gone to the north, every group of giants and people that you passed, they all doubted what you said, but you were the one that got the information. You were the one that ended up being saved and giving birth to a Jesus Nephilim, basically. So yeah, you definitely made that journey north, and then God decided to flood the planet. All right, you guys, for making it to the ending of this reading. I appreciate you so much. This was an awesome reading. I had so much fun doing this. Okay. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. Until the next reading, peace be with you. You guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Have a beautiful day, you guys. God bless.